Righto lads, we're back for part number 13 of the career, the Brazilian Grand Prix this time. As you can see on your screen, we've got a special lid, colours of Ayrton Senna. Unfortunately, couldn't really get a similar design, which is a shame, but don't worry, I'll work on it. Starting off with the practice programs as usual, getting all three of them done. Yeah, no real sweat. So, yeah, let's get into quali.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Here we are, our first run in Q1, a nice purple sector 1, as we round the last proper corner. Now, running up to the line, not a bad lap. It was pretty decent. Car feels pretty good. Setup feels pretty good. So hopefully that all points towards a Q3 berth. But our first lap was a 109.2, puts us P16. Hamilton down here as well, actually. Wow. So we decided obviously to go out again. And yeah, it wasn't a brilliant lap. You can see we're only up by about nearly 1.5 tenths as we run up to the line. Battery management just a tiny bit off, but we still end up gaining time to the line, and that is P16. So we are just through. That was enough. What a surprise this is. We have Ollie Behrman has gone quickest. Valtteri Bottas P9, Fernando Alonso P3, Antonelli P12, Piastri 14th, Verstappen 13th. Wow, Stroll through as well. Hamilton out in Q1 with Lindblad, Perez, Ocon, Lawson, Hulkenberg. Unbelievable scenes. What the hell is going on here? This is ridiculous. Starting off Q2 then on the used tyres as we round the final couple of corners here. Can we put in a solid time? Let's have a look as we run up to the line. It's going to be a 1:9.2 again. Okay, so we pretty much match our time there from the first run in Q1 on those tyres. Puts us P13 currently. Leclerc down here as well, so interesting. As now the checkered flag drops and we are 4 and a bit tenths up. We're probably going to need to gain another couple of tenths up to the line. We are gaining. It's over 4.5 now. And we've run out of battery, so we lose all of it. We lose about half of the time gained there, and it's unfortunately going to be P14. So the battery management catching us out, that is a shame. That is a real shame. Honestly, add those 2.5 tenths, we're probably like P12. So we probably didn't have the pace to make it through anyway, but really disappointing. We see Hadjar out again. He's P11, Behrman, Charles out, wow. And then you got myself and the two Astons. We see Gasly making it through, Bottas and Bortoletto and the two Williams all making it into Q3, so hopefully we can move forward in the race.
Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7 mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Piastri, Russell, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Sainz, Albon, Gasly, Bottas, and Gabriel Bortoletto, Hadjar, Behrman, Charles Leclerc, O'Reilly, Alonso, Stroll, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Arvid Lindblad, Perez, Ocon, Lawson, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. Interlagos, always one of my favourite weekends of the season. Love Brazil, adore this track.
Absolutely spot on, Crofty. I wish you could pick this circuit up and place it, copy-pasted on multiple different locations around the planet, because it is sensational to watch, sensational to drive. And for all these drivers here in Brazil, it's a great time to get stuck into this Interlagos circuit. It's an anti-clockwise track, lots of important corners to get right, and it's a track where you can make or lose an awful lot of laps.
You've got some work to do to match your result from last race. Come on, we know you can do it.
That is right. We are starting a little bit further back. It's pretty much the same strat as the last race. 16 laps on the I think it's actually reversed this time. 16 laps on the mediums to start. As we line up on the grid here in Brazil, getting it stopped nicely there. You see Charles just next to us. He'll be looking to get away well. As now we head towards 5 red lights here in Brazil. Held for an absolute eternity, and we are finally away for the Brazilian Grand Prix, getting a decent start. The second, Charles bloody going everywhere there, and we're going to send one up the inside of Ollie Behrman, turns to the outside, and we slide on through now into the back of this pack with Hadjar and Bottas just ahead. So we're looking for a move here. As we see, is that Bottas, yep, pulling out, getting past Bortoleto. So very good qualifying for Audi there, as again we're stuck behind Hadjar. So currently P12, up 2 places, not a bad start, Hopefully we can gain a couple more places here. We're going to send one on Hadjar. I think this is a good opportunity, and we take it, and we move up into P11. We get the Hadjar actually comes back at us here, up the inside, turns into the outside again, and we are going to finally get that position up to P11. So decent start there, up a few places, and now we'll be chasing after Bortoleto and Bottas here as they have a little bit of a scrap. We get real close. It's a good battle there, good side-by-side racing is now. We're going to try and send one around the outside of Bottas. Yes, we are, nearly onto the grass. And we nearly got the back of Bortoleto, but we make the move stick, and we are up into the points. P10. So Bortoleto will be the next target, as Bottas actually starting on the hards. Didn't actually realise that. So now we move on to the end of lap 3. Nearly getting our front wing chopped off there by Bortoleto, but we switch back to the inside line and we get that move done pretty comfortably. So we are flying here early on. We actually go a little bit wide there, pretty ironic. But we have about 2 seconds to make up to Albon, and we're already building a solid gap behind. So we move on to lap 5, and looks like Charles is making his way through as well, and he is going to have a look up the inside, but we're going to hold it around the outside, but he gets the move done. He's up into P9, and we move back down to P10. Very solid work there from the Ferrari. Hopefully he's quick enough to drag us away from these guys and up towards Alex Albon. Let's have a look. And actually, as we move on to lap 9, then it's actually Hadjar, so we haven't been able to stick on the back of Leclerc, and we are now under attack from Isaac Hadjar. So I think it's going to be a struggle to catch those guys. Obviously the Red Bull quicker car than us. As now we move on to lap 10, and again it's going to be the same spot. This time Hadjar fully getting past. So he makes that move finally up into P10. We drop out of the points. So very disappointing. As now we move on to the start of lap 11. It looks like we're going to get him back here. We fly straight past him, and we're back up into P10. So this looks like this is the battle. Might be scraping for 1 today, lads. You'd probably argue that's a little bit more realistic for the car. As now we move on to lap 14 then, and we have caught the train. Albon, Leclerc. We're going to just send one on bloody Albon. I didn't expect that. And now we're up into P9. So now we're back chasing the Ferrari and the Mercedes, as actually Pierre's up there. as well. So, and now Hadjar again, or it's actually Albon, sorry, looking to the outside, and he was never going to get that move done. So keep P9, and now we are into the pits. So race is moving along quite quickly. Hopefully the lads can give us a good stop here, as Albon also joins us in the pit lane. So can we get a good stop here onto the hards? Solid stop, fellas. So now we enter the race again. This time we're down in P17. So we need a good... Oh, we nearly go into the wall there. Not a very... That would have been pretty embarrassing. As now we move on then. Leclerc a few seconds up the road almost. And now we see the RB of Lawson pitting. Also Alonso. There's actually quite a few cars in the pits. Gasly, one of them, and it looks like Gasly's getting out ahead of us as he rejoins now. We stay ahead of Hadjar though, so solid stuff as we see Antonelli now making his way back through. As we see Yellow's actually up ahead. I wonder what's happened here. Looks like, I don't know, something, was that a Williams I saw there going a bit slowly? I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the replay here, and it's actually Verstappen battling with bloody Valtteri Bottas for P2. Bottas obviously on those hards, and he's just spun. Wow. So Russell behind then, you'll see, comes straight through and gets the position. That is unreal. What a spin. Battling with a Cadillac. Just unnecessary, you'd think. As now we move on to lap 20. And we are just behind our teammate here. We're going to have a look around the outside as well. He has a little bit of a move. Thought he was going to put us in the grass as... I think that's Perez. Yeah, it is. Into the pit lane then. As we are having a look at that move on Gasly. Around the outside, turns into the inside. And we make that move. So, very solid from us. Up into P8. And now, hopefully, we can catch back up to the Ferrari. It's easier said than done. As here we are, moving on to lap 22. As Valtteri Bottas pits on those hards. And we're going to see Pierre come straight back past us. Oh, we've actually hit the grass on the right-hand side. And we've nearly bloody spun it. We have a little half spin. And that allows Antonelli, and obviously Gasly, to, well, Gasly's already ahead, but it allows Antonelli to catch up and get through, even though we're going to get him right back. We apparently had a collision there. I didn't really feel it on my wheel, so not sure what the game's on about. So, getting that place back at least. And now, a couple of laps later, lap 25, we're going to absolutely send one deep on the brakes. And we get back past our teammate up into P7. This could be a very good points haul here for the team. As now we move on to lap 26 then, just ahead of Pierre Gasly. As, oh, it's a safety car. Safety car, I'm not sure what's happened there. But it is a safety car. Looks like someone's, it's Lance Stroll. Oh, spun it. That is just typical Lance Stroll. Let's have another look at the onboard, and yeah, that's ridiculous. It's funny though because it's Stroll. That's brilliant. So we've actually decided we're going to take the gamble. 10 laps to go. Tyre wear, I think we're in about 20, the high 20s I think on the hards. So we've decided we're going to take the gamble. We're going to go for it. Chuck on a fresh set of mediums under the safety car. And I mean, we're going to drop back probably to P like 20 or something, but tyres hopefully will help us out towards the end of the race. So let's hurry up and catch up to the pack here, and let's go racing. So we're actually not as far back as what I thought. We're actually going to be at the moment P17. Looking at the mini map, looks close there to Lindblad. We are going to get out ahead. So P17, just behind Hulkenberg. And here we are going racing at the start or the end of lap 28 then. And we're away now. So we go on here. Already wasting in no time at all, getting straight up the inside of Hulkenberg. Accidentally, I don't think I actually meant to do that, but we sent one on Bottas inside, turns into the outside. We're going to sweep around and get that move done then. As already the lap's winding down, and now we've got the other Audi in our sights. It's Gabby Bortoletto. And oh, we just drive into the back of him. We've got damage. We've got bloody wing damage. What the hell was I doing? Oh my days, that is the stupidest thing. I can't believe I've done that. We've just... Oh, look at that. Look at the understeer. That is cooked. Lucky it's a bloody anti-clockwise circuit, or else we would have to pit. But genuinely, the pace actually, obviously, apart from that corner, as we're going to send one on the Haas of Ollie Behrman, the pace felt okay. Yeah, I just can't believe I did that. That's just a dumb, stupid mistake to make. Obviously showing the lack of experience, I guess you could say, the lack of awareness. And yeah, we're not really letting it hold us back though, as we get Behrman, like I just said, and now we're going to sell. Oh my days, we're going to sell on Alonso. Thought he was nearly going to put us in the wall. And here we go, sending one up the inside into turn 1. And we get that move done up into P12. We cut the corner, obviously. Thought we were going to understeer, to be fair, so turning in a bit earlier. And now we're going to go after the Red Bull of Hadjar. So we're back again with Isaac. And this time we're sending one around the outside. Look at the understeer though, and this is going to open the door for him. Oh my days, we go right off the track. It's going to open the door for him to come back at us. So he gets the place back, and we are back down to P12. So let's have a look then as we start lap 31 then. We're going to... Oh my days, what is it with the AI moving over like that? The second time it's happened in 2 or 3 laps. Thought I was going to get put in the wall. We end up making that move on Hadjar, and actually behind Alonso is also going to get past Isaac Hadjar. So the Red Bull clearly struggling on them hards. And now we've actually closed up to this pack. So we move on to lap 34, and we've closed up to this pack with our teammate and Alex Albon. So points could still be on the cards here as we end that lap 34 using the boost, then hopefully setting ourselves up for a move onto the straight after the SSC. Oh, we're gonna... Oh my days, we send it. I think that was actually an accidental send as well. The car just didn't slow down. So, I mean, I'll take it. We're up into the points, and that is a brilliant recovery drive. Even though we had damage, and I suppose it wasn't really a recovery, but kind of was, you know, driving with damage. So we're going to start the final lap then. And we see Pierre overtaking Lewis Hamilton. So this is unreal scenes from Pierre. You love to see it. Getting the elbows out. As we're going to watch George Russell, for the second time in 2 races, cross the line to win in Brazil. Winning last time out in Singapore. And he wins again, as you can see how happy we are, to cross the line in P10.
Right, race over.
We'll take that.
Here's the checkered flag. Here's our winner. By George, he's done it. Russell wins.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these 3 have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. And taking his place on the top step of the podium, he gave it some hustle. Well done to George Russell.
Well, what a race that was. Had a bit of everything. We took the gamble there with the extra stop, and I think it paid off. Even though we had damage, I think the tyres really helped us. So, solid race there. Very good race from Leclerc. Hamilton there as well. Lando dropping down from pole. Piastri dropping down as well. Carlos Sainz P4. Max Verstappen potentially losing the race with that half spin that he did there. You can see Albon having a bit of a struggle there. Bottas dropping out of the points. And unfortunately, Lance Stroll, the only DNF from the race. So, as now we move on to the standings, we see Lando now increasing that gap to 45 points. And George Russell closing in on Charles for P2. So this championship, with 3 races to go, is pretty much Lando's to lose, as we are there. We've notched up 100 points with that point, and we are P8 behind Verstappen and quite a way ahead of Carlos Sainz. So now, having a look at the constructors, we see McLaren increasing that gap to nearly 30 points, and Ferrari as well a little bit further behind Mercedes, and Red Bull going about 18 points clear of us. So bit to work on. That was a real struggle for us, so hopefully we'll have a better race next time out in Las Vegas. We'll see you for the next one.